Okay, so it's the first recording and everyone is officially late. Do a little intro just so it's clear who's actually talking. Lyssa, actually I have an unpronounceable username. Lyssa, then Catcher with an X where the A should be. That's so long-winded on Twitter. That's my Twitter handle.
No, you're so cool with your complicated username.
I wish I'd changed it to something pronounceable now I'm doing a podcast. I am unfortunately from the British Isles. I'm 19 years old and I'm an insane Dennis girly. I think that's all the information that you need to know about me.
Okay. I'm Ryan. My Twitter username is SimsWyatt. I'm 18 and from Canada.
I'm Szare. My Twitter username is also unpronounceable. Szare Herbatnik. I'm 18 and I'm from Poland.
And we're missing L, as people might notice there's 4 faces on the lovely artwork that Ray did for us. Ray is Max Elbow Dance on Twitter. He's a great artist and a buddy of ours. Yeah, he did this for free, which is very nice. And the 4 faces are in order: Szare, then me with a little mask on, then it's Elle, and then right at the end is our little Canadian moose. Elle's sort of like a little background character in our podcast who's going to be popping up with little messages. She is free to unmute herself at any time. She just chooses this lifestyle.
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't even said the premise of this. I don't think there is a premise. I think this is just like a rival podcast to the one RCG are making.
The premise of this is sort of we're Sunny fans that got together online and speaking in like 4 different countries together about this show because we're not normal about it. And although, we have mixed views on the podcast here, some people love it, some people are not fans. We all agree that they have the wrong opinions on their own show.
Not always.
They don't know it like I do.
Not always. But we're here to set the record straight when they did get it wrong. The premise of the first episode is to sort of do what the guys did on their own podcast, just like rip it off but do it better, basically, and review the pilot episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia together, give our thoughts, argue a little bit. So for anyone that happens to be listening to this, we took a break from the podcast and came back an hour later, because that's when Ryan said he'd be here. It's now 40 minutes after that. And we were just bullying the man. Like, I think we're 10 minutes into this podcast. We can just ditch him.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Do you want to get into it?
Oh shit. He's here.
Hi. Hey, I'm in the car right now.
Oh, thank you for joining in there in the car.
Great. That's a good podcast. We just started recording like a minute ago, and we started saying that our conversation was so much better than the beginning of the podcast, and we should just ditch you, and then you just randomly fucking joined.
So now we can move on to the fit check, which I'm very excited for, because I've got a themed outfit for today.
I don't have a photo of my outfit. It looks good though.
You can take it when you get back.
Okay.
Okay, because you can describe it to us now.
Yeah.
And then we'll put it up on screen as you're describing it.
Like light blue jeans, a black shirt, but then over top of it I have like a shirt with snowflakes on it.
I love that.
That's adorable.
My Dennis fit, I can do the little snap.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and it's glittery, which is something he didn't have.
I'm glad that I haven't described my outfit.
What is your outfit?
I'm wearing, just like you, Ryan, light blue jeans and a David Bowie jumper. So, are we just jumping to the episode?
I'd love to jump into the episode if you guys don't have anything else to add. So I want to start with the opening line of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which I found very interesting. Is they're talking about making $164 in one night, and I thought that's a lot for Paddy's pub. Like, that's like 10 people paying for their drinks. That's a lot in one night for them. I just thought that was an interesting thing to bring up. And also then Max says that like they have a mortgage that they pay. And I just written in notes they have a mortgage question mark. They pay it question mark. What? The parents never paid for anything in their life, especially pre-Frank. Like, sorry, any listeners will probably not be entertained by us immediately talking about the finances of Paddy's Pub.
No, because I think the finances are very interesting. I remember rewatching Frank Retires, and there was a whole discussion about Paddy's shares, and I just tried to calculate what is the current state of Paddy's shares, because I find that so interesting. When we get famous because of this podcast, and when RCG notice us, the first thing that we're gonna ask them when we go out for a drink, because that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
We ask them, what's the share situation in Paddy's Pub?
I wrote down that Dennis has the first line, and I thought that was fun because he is the best character and the most important.
Yeah.
Aww,
Yeah.
I like that.
Just my little guy.
Oh, my next note that I have is in the opening scene, Dee's like, guys, be cool. And then they actually try. I thought that was interesting that they did literally anything Dee told them to do.
Because Dee was the voice of reason in season 1.
Yeah. That's an interesting dynamic.
Not completely, but a lot of times she was just like, guys, that's bad. That's not okay.
Yeah, like in the abortion episode.
But actually, at the end of the episode, I wrote down that she came up with a scheme and Matt just did it.
Yeah.
This is one of the only D schemes in like the whole show, because she just like doesn't get listened to from here on out. I just like that she's the master plan, and it like almost works.
Well, that's kind of true.
Where she's like, I need you to get Dennis drunk, and Mac's like, yep, done it already. Like getting there. That's fun. It's a fun.
My first note on this episode actually is just Terrell flirts with Dennis.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that I wrote down.
And I've got Dennis was into Terrell. Like he looks like he's looking up and down.
Yeah.
The eyes, like it's a weird energy looking back.
Yeah, but it like it's so funny how the majority of fans are straight men in their 40s, and in the very first episode, it's like in the first 2 minutes we have a guy flirting with one of the main characters.
And it's not like entirely rejected. Like I think Dennis was kind of into it.
Right? Can we just take a minute to appreciate Mac's hair? I know that we do this all the time on Twitter, but
yeah, true.
It's incredible.
The pre-hair gel.
Pre-hair gel. I just wrote down that Mac and Dennis are so pretty in this episode because they're both gorgeous.
He's adorable.
This is one of my favourite episodes for Mac ever in like the whole show. So
yeah, I have about the attractiveness of the characters. I wrote down Dennis smokes and he has a blue lighter.
Yeah.
And what I meant by this note is that Dennis smoking is incredibly hot.
Real.
And I want to mention that in Hero or Hate Crime, when they all smoke cigarettes, he doesn't actually take a puff. Like, he just pretends he's smoking, and that bothers me so much.
It's because I know that they're fake cigarettes, but didn't Glenn say that they quit by then? So
yeah, but like that's a pussy thing to do. You're an actor. You're smoking. Smoke. Jesus
We're getting
Christ.
really into the hot takes here.
Yeah. Oh, hot take. I think they should get vapes because it will be super fucking funny. I need like to see Dennis with like a mango or blueberry vape pen.
That's already making me cringe into my like.
Yeah, but it's like so funny.
Anyone over like 25 vaping makes me cringe a little bit, and like
I think
great.
I think I told you this, Lyssa, when you were over at my house. That I think it's incredibly funny when celebrities or like grown people vape. Like it's hilarious because it's something so associated with the young adults and teenagers. That when you hear celebrity talking about vaping, it's hilarious, and I love it for some reason because it makes them look so pathetic and human.
I agree.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's exactly why I've told you this, Shadow, but The reason I will absolutely never vape in my life
Yeah,
is
because
that
your mum
I've
vaped.
seen my mum hit a vape in front of me, and that's enough to put you off it forever. It's made it uncool for the rest of my life.
Just for the listeners, I'm pro vaping, I'm pro smoking, I'm pro drugs, pro alcoholism.
Turning the
Shadows.
war on drugs on the side of drugs.
Guys, the drug statistics among youth are dropping, and I think if we all work together, we can get them back up.
I just came up with an idea. Weed vape.
Jesus.
Those exist.
Those exist.
Yeah, my mom has one.
What? Are you
Canada,
serious?
you great country.
Do they not have them in Poland?
Oh, I mean, weed is not legal in Poland, so what do you want?
Oh,
Yeah,
that
no
makes
one
sense.
here.
Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada.
You're just singing on Christmas tree.
Weed vapes.
As much as I'm loving this vape conversation, I think we need to discuss Boys Are Out Tonight
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
That deserves its own little focus.
Okay, before we get to
my
that though,
God.
because it's earlier on in the episode, I want to tell you guys about my dreams because in grade 10 I started writing them down.
Your dreams?
So you guys all have to
God.
listen to them now. Yeah, because Dee was telling Dennis about her dreams, so now you guys have to listen to mine.
So there was a dream about you going to sleep. That's what you just told us. Elle, cut that.
Please don't cut my dreams.
So Dennis is just being a fag in this episode the whole way through. I like when they call him the cute one.
Yeah, the cute one.
I like the montage of like, hey sexy, hey beautiful, hey handsome.
I just get along really well with those guys.
No,
Yeah.
They were so real for that because Glenn does have that effect on men.
Literally.
I speak from
Oh my God.
experience.
I want to point out that Dennis, when he woke up from his experiment, he wanted to cuddle.
Oh yeah, that's a first.
And I
And
was...
a last.
Yeah, a first and a last, because when did that ever happen again? It didn't happen. It just didn't happen again. That was the first time he ever
Yeah.
wanted to cuddle after sex.
And
I
he
found
was
that
so
weird.
traumatized by that incident.
Yeah. Oh,
He
maybe.
never
maybe.
did aftercare. Never did aftercare ever again in his life.
As we know from the podcast, the majority of gay moments in Sunny, Rob, not Rob, Mac trying to kiss Dennis in the recycling episode was
That was just Rob.
improv.
That was Rob. You can say that.
Yeah, okay, that was Rob then. And Time's Up, Rob / Mac touching Dennis's / Glenn's thigh. That was also improv.
No one told him to do that.
Yeah,
Either
he
of them
just
love.
did that.
I also love that with the Boys Are Out Tonight, Mac is the one that notices that he's doing that just because everyone else is
Right.
just talking amongst themselves and he's just staring at Dennis.
Okay, I
Like
have
a gay
written
person
down, you know the scene where Mac's cousin tells him, oh, you've come a long way, and I think that was supposed to be in reference to, like, oh, you're so successful now, but I took it as in, like, because Mac's been super homophobic, and I was cousin's like, you're gay now, because you're running a gay bar.
Yeah.
And that's how I prefer to interpret it.
Yeah, especially because it works with the running joke that everyone knows Mac's gay except him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So his cousin thinks he's finally out, but I also love that every character related to Mac in canon is gay or queer
Is gay.
somehow.
I wrote that down too.
It's kind of just like real life with Rob, that his entire family is gay, except for him.
Because we were talking about Mac Dennis before, I wanted to move on to a very significant scene.
No, the tequila scene.
Yeah, the tequila scene. It's one of the most iconic scenes in the show. It's hot. I can't even.
Yeah.
I think that from Rob's behavior on the podcast, I'm talking about one specific episode, the Mac Banks the Waitress podcast episode.
Ooh, yeah,
This is my general sample. I think that Rob wrote Sunny to, like, he planned McDennis.
You think
Yeah.
so?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Save it for a theory episode.
And, like, not in a way that he thought, not necessarily in a way that, I'm gonna make those two characters be together.
Fuck.
But I think he planned for Mac and Dennis to have a sort of tension, and to at least use this tension as like joke material.
Okay, that's fair.
So I don't think that it started as, I don't think it's like a conspiracy that, oh, Rob McElhenney is the OG McDennis shipper and he wrote Sunny just to write the biggest sitcom love story, a gay ass love story. I think he just planned the tension between them mainly for comedic purposes, which then turned serious possibly when they decided to actually make Mac gay around season 8.
This is a whole conspiracy thing. So you think that he is intentionally being like super flirty?
I don't think it's a conspiracy. I think this is just a humble interpretation of the show. And I think because Rob on the podcast talks about moments between Mac and Dennis before they decided to make Mac gay, that he talks about them like very fondly and about their relationship as if they were together or were in love with each other. Again, I'm not saying that like Rob was planning to make them together all along.
Yeah.
But I think it's just interpreting his way of writing, which I think is slightly more profound than we make it out to be.
Yeah, thank you.
I think this is the only compliment that I can give Rob, that he's an excellent writer.
Oh, I like how I've written down Rob not being able to get through his lines without smiling. I think that's in the experiment scene where he's just openly breaking character.
But I think that's lovely about the early seasons, because you just get the sense that it's a project made by friends. Yeah. And you don't get that with most sitcoms. Right.
I remember what line it was when Janelle comes in and Terrell's like, "That's my sister," and Max got the line, "So when you say your sister, you mean?" And Rob's just like holding back so badly. Yeah. Massive smile, and it's very endearing.
Yeah, I mean, people often say that Rob is a shitty actor, but then again, because Rob is smiling, because there are cuts just before you know that they started laughing, I think it makes it super cute, and you know that this is just friends having fun.
You can tell that it was made by friends. Yeah.
Yeah. But also,
I almost cried at Mythic Quest, but
I cried at Mythic Quest 1,000 times.
Yeah, he's amazing in Mythic Quest, but in Sunny's like been patchy over the years. When he's good, he's really, really good. Like season 12 and 13, he was on a
He's good.
Yeah,
he's good.
He's good.
Despite people saying he's a shitty actor, he seems way more successful than Glenn, who actually has an education.
Glenn is so good at acting.
Unfortunately, like Glenn, I say this with much affection, Glenn should have been a stage actor, not a TV show actor.
Yeah.
Really?
I know I know we wouldn't have gotten Dennis without
I'm glad he's
Glenn
a TV actor, but he'd be such a good stage actor.
Right, I mean,
you don't have to choose, you can do both.
You can do both.
Yeah.
He could have,
but he wouldn't.
He could be Dennis, but I think he should have focused on being on stage more, because from the live show, the Nightman Cometh Live, he seemed so comfortable on stage. He did, his line delivery was amazing. He was hilarious in it. I think if we saw him in more stage plays, I think we would be able to see more of his abilities.
Would slay.
Yep.
I think it would be super slay, and I would love to see him in more stage plays. I think it would be fun for him. I think it would be very fun for me to do a lot of screenshots, and I would have an amazing time watching him.
I would go to New York to see Glenn on Broadway.
You want to be able to pay to see him every night and make it like an exclusive little club.
Or I could pretend to not know him and have this like Wattpad thing, just sit down. With a book.
And he sees you in the crowd.
No.
Yeah. And he's like, "Who's that mysterious girl who doesn't even pay attention to how sexy I am?"
And she's reading.
And he's like,
"She's reading a book at Glenn Howerton's Broadway show."
She's reading Shakespeare's entire works. Ooh, she's so mysterious. I think I would have loved. No, I wouldn't.
I had a horrible time in Paddy's. Don't even lie.
I think I would have fun there.
It is.
I think I would love to think that. Like, I love to think that I would get along with the gang, but the reality is that they would hate me. I'm extremely annoying.
Them.
Yeah, I wouldn't get along with them, but I think that I would have fun just like hanging out there.
I'm talking about more the fact that Paddy's is very aggressive towards the customer in every single way. Just from the smell to the fact there's no drinks, there's like, it's a hygiene hazard at every opportunity. Like, you might get a piano fucking dropped on you. You're just not gonna have a good time there, and that's what I love about the show. But I don't think Paddy's is for me. I couldn't stomach it. I'm too British.
I think this is the place for me. Yeah,
I went to quite a lot of bars like Paddy's. I mean, in the aesthetic and the overall vibe of getting murdered any second. I remember I went to like a restaurant with a bar with my friend, and the first thing that we heard was the bartender like shouting to his friend, I don't know how to make this drink, and
this is just like in the hit TV series It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I think,
fucking hell.
Like the actual Sunny podcast, we're sort of meandering towards the end.
Yeah, true. But with the technical difficulties, I think it's the internet trying to tell us that Sunny is a terrible fucking show and no one should have a podcast about it.
It is. This is a waste of lives.
I think that's trying to tell us that it's time to end this episode.
We have a finite amount of hours on Earth, and this is how we're using them. And God is trying to correct that. And this thing, I just wanted to add, Mac and Charlie's little fight has aged really well in terms of like comic timing. It's really funny.
Yeah.
They're wrestling on the ground like, you're making a scene. I love it.
True.
It's really, really good. I think that's everything I have about the episode, though.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Yeah. I think that was very fun.
Episode 1. But I guess
See you next week.
If you're lucky.
See you next week.